So today it's all about drugstore versus high-end makeup. So in case you're interested, then keep on watching. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Cat's Eye Beauty. And if you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by. I'm over 50 years old and I love testing out makeup and skincare products, everything from drugstore to high-end and everything in between. And that's exactly what we're gonna do. It's gonna be a contest, drugstore versus high-end makeup. And boy, do I have a lot of makeup right here. I've got some wonderful dupes and I just wanted to see, are we just paying more for high-end makeup where there are perfectly good dupes? Find out till the end and see if they compare. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. How you doing? Oh my goodness, I was going through my makeup collection and I realized that a lot of my foundations are the same, a lot of my eyeshadow palettes, blush, because you know, I kind of get into a rut. I like the same colors, the same color stories. So I thought it would be fun to pit drugstore against high-end. And we're going to start with primer. Now, everyone knows that the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer is very well loved and very well known because it does create a smooth canvas. It does smooth out those pores. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pit Tatcha, the Silk Canvas Primer, against the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. And I'm going to use the high-end on my left side. So I'm just going to go in with the primer. This is very well loved, very popular, but very expensive. So I'm just going to put it on my most porous areas right through here. And in case you're interested in any of the products that I'm featuring today, they'll be listed down in the description box below. And we're just blending that in right through there. On the right side of my face, I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. Now this comes in several different varieties. It comes in a luminous putty primer. It comes in an acne fighting primer. And right off the bat, I like the consistency better of the e.l.f. It feels a little bit smoother, a little bit more hydrating. Now, if you're new to my channel, I do have normal to dry skin. I have hyperpigmentation, fine lines, redness. Primer is on. I'll be honest, I like the e.l.f. side better, but let's see how smoothing it is on our pores. Now for foundation, I love foundation. I love testing out foundation and I have quite the collection. So when I had to go in and find a dupe to a high-end foundation, I think you're gonna be super shocked. For a great serum foundation for the drugstore side, I'm gonna be using the No. 7 Restore and Renew Multi-Action Serum Foundation. Now this has an SPF of 20 and it retails anywhere from $15.99 to $17.99. I picked it up at Target, to be honest. And then for the high-end luxury side, I'm going to go in with the IT Cosmetics CC and Nude Glow Serum Foundation. Now this has an SPF of 40 and this retails for $44. Let's go in with the high-end luxury side of IT Cosmetics. Now I'm going to go ahead and pump some on the back of my hand, just a little bit because we only have to do half of our face. I'm going to go in with my fingertips, and this is the side that we primed with the Tatcha. Now remember, this does come in more shades than the No. 7, and this has a nice clean smell. I always like to smell my products. I know, I'm weird. And on this side, I'm going to go ahead and take a beauty blender and just bounce it in. A little bit more. Now, the No. 7 Restore and Renew on my right side. It has a little bit of a runnier consistency. I'll go ahead and apply it to the center of my face. Now, right off the bat, this one feels a little bit more fluid. And it doesn't have much of a scent, but it looks like it has just a bit more coverage than the IT Cosmetics. Cleaned off my beauty blender and I'm going to go ahead and blend. As you can see, they look almost identical. This one to me feels a little bit more hydrating than the CC Glow. I went ahead and turned down my studio light so you can see the difference. Both have light to medium coverage. Both are very hydrating. Both are very serum-like. I think the No. 7 Restore and Renew is just a tad bit more hydrating. Now, they only differ slightly in SPF protection, but you should be wearing your sunscreen and SPF protection underneath your foundation anyway. But I think they look identical, don't you think? And at the price point, I would probably go with the Restore and Renew. It's a beautiful foundation. It's very lightweight and very airy. I really like this side better. Now for concealer. Everybody knows that Tarte Shape Tape is the holy grail of full coverage concealer, but I think I found a dupe to it. It is the Milani Conceal and Perfect Long Wear Concealer. As you can see, it is very well loved. The Tarte concealer retails for $30 and the Milani retails for $9.99. So let's put it to the test and see which one's better. This is the travel size. It's super cute. And this one retails for $14. $14. Did I pay $14 for this? But I'm just going to apply a tiny bit right where I need the most coverage and right where I want to lift my face and where I tend to get red. I'm going to take the heat of my fingertips. Cat hair. That is a big one. Oh. Now this is very full coverage. It'll cover up the dark circles under your eyes. And so many people swear by it. Definitely brightening. Definitely full coverage. And right through there. Wow, that blended seamlessly. Even just using my fingertips. I haven't even blended it in. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Now I'm going to go in with the Milani and do the exact same thing. Now I'm going to take my dampened beauty sponge and just tap that in. Ooh. And then using the other side, we're going to tap in the Tarte Shape Tape. Can you tell a difference? Now, I have to admit the Tarte does feel a little bit heavier in consistency, and it did a hair bit of more coverage. But all in all, I think they look identical. That's insane. Now for bronzer. I love Charlotte Tilbury's Sun-Kissed Cream Bronzer. I also love their Airbrush Matte Bronzer. But I started using the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Bronzer, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're almost identical. Charlotte Tilbury kills it with packaging every time, and you get quite a bit of product. Now this retails for $55, and it also pops out and you can refill it. The L'Oreal Infallible retails for $14.99. So let's put it to the test and see which one is better. Let's go ahead with Charlotte Tilbury. Just tap it in. You guys, I was obsessed with this matte bronzer when it first came out, and I use it for eyeshadow. I use it for bronzing, and it just lays so smoothly on my skin. Gives that perfect amount of warmth without pulling too orange or too gray, but it just looks fantastic on the skin. Isn't that pretty? Now on a different brush, I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Matte Bronzer. I'm in the shade 300. Take it on my brush and just tap it in. You don't need a lot of product on your brush because this one is definitely pigmented, but it's also very smoothing at the same time. It looks pretty much identical to the Charlotte Tilbury. Are you kidding me? This is great. Now, I do have to admit, L'Oreal does pull a little bit warmer. They look the same. They feel the same. This is beautiful. Isn't that nice? Look at that. Now for blush. You are not going to believe the dupes that I found for Pat McGrath blush. Pat McGrath is so high-end, so luxury, so beautiful, but so expensive. When I found the dupe to one of her most beautiful blushes, I couldn't wait to share it with you. Now, I do have the 3-pan blush trio. This is called the Divine Blush and Glow Trio Galactic Sun. And the shade that I found a dupe to, you're not going to believe this, is Divine Rose. It's this beautiful cool tone rose shade through here. And the blush that I found to be a dupe to retails for $3. It is from Essence. It is the blush, and I'm in the shade Befitting. I'm going to show you side by side what they look like. It looks like the Divine Rose from Pat McGrath is a little deeper, but wait till you see the difference when you apply it to your face. I'm going to take it on my brush. It's such a beautiful rosy shade. It just does not add any additional texture to your skin because it is a powder blush, but I love this shade. It's so pretty on the skin. It looks so natural. and it's so expensive. And I'm applying it up towards my hairline so it'll give my face a natural lift. But that is the very expensive Divine Rose. I'm gonna go in with the Essence. The pigment is more intense on the $3 Essence blush as opposed to the Pat McGrath Divine Rose blush. That is insane. But as you can see, even though this is a lighter shade, for some reason it has more pigment. I know, I was shocked myself. So let's go ahead and apply more of this other shade. So if it's more expensive and you use more, where's the logic in that? Now for eyeshadow, I was looking at my eyeshadow palettes and I was like, wow, that looks really familiar, but are they the same? Does drugstore eyeshadow perform as well as high-end luxury? The eyeshadow palettes that I selected that looked very in in color stories just came out recently. I'm pitting the Milani Gilded Flora eyeshadow palette against the Anastasia Beverly Hills Nouveau palette. This is how much was this? $55? Ooh. Upon first inspection, no. Do they look alike? No, but they do have several colors that are very, very similar. For some reason, the Milani looks a little more punchy, more pigmented than the ABH, but we're gonna go ahead and test it out. The colors that I was interested in from the Milani palette was Lavender Fields. It's like a beautiful pale lavender. And then from Anastasia Beverly Hills, you have Wisteria. Same shade of lavender. This is ABH. And this is Milani. I'm going to go in with Garden Path on a fluffy brush. I'm going to go in on the right side. Oof, a lot of kickback. But it's getting the job done. And on a different brush, I'm going to go in with Paloma on, ooh, lots of kickback there on Paloma. So let's go with Paloma on the other side. Equal amounts of kickback, unfortunately, but yeah, pretty dusty in the pan, but not much of a difference. This is pulling a little bit cooler than the Milani side. ABH side looks a little bit lighter than the Milani side. Now on that same brush, I'm gonna go into Salt of the Earth, almost like a cross between a peach and a coral color. And I'm gonna go right above my crease and just go back and forth and blend it out. Not bad. And then I'm gonna go in with Flora, again with a kickback, almost the same shade, and apply it right through here. Flora is a little bit peachier, a little bit lighter. I'm gonna go in with Take Root just to create a little bit more depth and definition right on the outskirts of my eye, and I'm just blending it in. Nice, it's got pigment, and bringing it up just to create a little bit of a deeper transition on the outskirts of my eye, and I'm taking it up. That blended out beautifully. I'm gonna go in with Metro. It's a lighter shade, but if it has the pigment, let's see what it looks like. Yeah, totally different shade. When you first look at the shades, they kind of look similar, but granted, Take Root is a little bit deeper, so I'm just gonna mix a little bit of Muse and Metro together to see if we can match it up. Now, Muse does have a little bit of shimmer in it, and I'm bringing it up just like that. Now, granted, Muse is much deeper, but I think I can soften it up with a little bit of Metro just to have it match. It's a little bit deeper, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a brush and go ahead and blend that out. We're gonna go in with shimmer, and I'm gonna go in with Botanist. It's like a gold champagne-y shimmer. Feels totally gritty. I don't know, you guys, we'll see. And I'm just gonna pop it on the center of my eyelid. This does have a slight bit of glitter to it, but it is really smooth. Very pretty. From the ABH side, I'm gonna go in with Isle. Oh, buttery, gorgeous. And I'm gonna put it in the same spot. Well, you really don't need a lot here. Which do you prefer? This one pulls a little bit more warm. This one is a little more shimmery, more smooth on the lid. I'm going to go ahead and blend it out with that same brush. And then go back on this side and blend this out. Okay, this side is definitely more gold. This one pulls a little bit warmer, but in terms of formula, this is not bad. This is more of a shimmer. This is more of a chunky glitter, but they do look very similar. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and pop on some eyeliner, and then we're going to do Battle of the Mascaras. Eyelashes or curls? Now, for liquid eyeliner, I went in with my absolute favorite. You know it's my holy grail. It is the Maybelline Hyper Easy Liquid Eyeliner. It just draws a nice matte black line. It has a smooth tip that doesn't drag against my mature eyelids. Now, for the luxury side, I don't buy a lot of luxury liquid eyeliners because A, they're super expensive. B, why try them if I already found my holy grail? That is the one holy grail that I love, the Maybelline Hyper Easy. But on the left side, for the high-end side, I went in with the Clinique Pretty Easy Liquid Eyelining Pen. You know what? It kind of dragged over the eyeshadow, which I did not like. It's not as matte. For some reason, the felt tip liner pen on the Clinique side is way too flimsy. It dragged against my lash line. Did not care for it. Now for a high-end mascara, I'm going in with the Jones Road V Mascara. I was super obsessed with this mascara for so long, for good reason. It's a beautiful formula that doesn't clump. It stays put, it holds a curl. It has, you know, one of those C-shaped wands. This mascara was sold out for the longest time on the Jones Road website. And if you're not familiar with Jones Road, that is Bobbi Brown's new makeup line, who is an icon in the makeup industry. So when this mascara came out, absolutely love it. It thickens, it lengthens, it holds a curl. It's a stunning formula. Now, I think I found a dupe. It is from Milani. It is their high-rated anti-gravity mascara. As you can see, the wand tip applicator is a little bit more unusual. It has silicone teeth. I call them teeth. Let's go ahead and apply the Milani. The brushes are super different, but they give you the same effect. Thickening, volumizing, lengthening. Which side do you prefer? Do you prefer the Jones Road? Or do you prefer the Milani Anti-Gravity? I mean, they're both really good. This has more of a wetter formula, which I kind of like. It kind of glides on more smooth. But yeah, mascara can be easily duped. There's so many good drugstore mascaras. If I had to pick a high-end mascara, it would probably be the Jones Road. But I mean, it's mascara. How are you going to tell the difference? But this is a great drugstore formula. It's beautiful, lengthening, volumizing. It's so worth it. For the under eye area, I went ahead and set it with two different types of loose powder. On the right side, I went in with the e.l.f. HD powder. I think this retails for like $5 and you get so much. You'll never run out of this, but I just lightly dusted it and set the under eye concealer, which was the Milani concealer, with my Flower Beauty concealer brush. I think it costs like $8. Absolutely love Flower Beauty's concealer brush. And then on the high-end side, I went in with, of course, the most iconic loose setting powder from Laura Mercier, her translucent setting powder. This one, I think, looks a little brighter. If you do have fine lines and a drier under eye, I would probably go with the Laura Mercier side. I think it looks flawless, but yeah. For lipstick, these went viral earlier in the year. It is the Milani Color Fetish Matte Lipstick, the Nude collection, and I picked up the shade Passion. And then, of course, Makeup by Mario came out with his suede lipstick, and I picked up the shade Jessie. Now, these aren't identical shades, almost in the same color family. So I'm going to put Mario. Mario is actually the name of my oldest brother. I'm going to put Mario on the left side. It's nice. And then now for the Milani. Right off the bat, Milani feels more creamy, more hydrating. These retail for $8.99. Makeup by Mario retails for $24. They're not an exact dupe in terms of shades, but my goodness, the Color Fetish Matte Lipstick from Milani beats Makeup by Mario hands down, because honestly, it's more hydrating, it has more pigment. I mean, I love the Makeup by Mario. I think it's beautiful, but in terms of being comfortable and hydrating on the lips, I'm gonna go for Milani. And now for liquid highlighter. course, we are going to go in with the e.l.f. Halo Liquid Filter. You guys, you know I've been obsessed with this. I've already done a video on it, comparing it to the Hollywood Flawless Filter from Charlotte Tilbury. Very iconic. I mean, I don't know one person that doesn't love this, but hello e.l.f. She's coming for you. They are basically the same exact design, but for some reason, the doe foot on the e.l.f. has a little reservoir on the tip, so it actually has more product. So you have to be super careful when applying it. But let's go ahead and tap in right through there. Now this actually has skin-loving ingredients like hyaluronic acid and squalane. To me, the consistency is a little bit more fluid, and I think it just blends in seamlessly onto the complexion. This retails for $14. This retails for $44. Are you kidding me? So let's go ahead and take Charlotte Tilbury out and then tap it in. To me, this has a little bit of a thicker consistency. It's a little more pearlescent. They're both equally beautiful, but for some reason, this just looks more seamless on my complexion than the Charlotte Tilbury. And I feel like the Charlotte Tilbury is lifting up the Pat McGrath blush. Hello, let's work together. You're both expensive. Work together, ladies. If the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter is going to lift my $55 blush from Pat McGrath, I'm going to stick with e.l.f. and my $3 blush. Here we are with the final look. I have some thoughts. I have some really good thoughts. The e.l.f. Putty Poreless Primer, just as good, if not better. I preferred actually the consistency of the Poreless Primer over the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer, but yeah. Now, as for foundation, I actually prefer the No. 7 Restore and Renew Serum Foundation. Now, remember, this retails anywhere from $15.99 to $17.99. It is a serum foundation. It's going to be hydrating and smoothing. It does have an SPF of 20 as opposed to the CC Plus Nude Glow SPF 40 Broad Spectrum. Yeah, I'm going to go with the No. 7. For bronzer, I think I'm going to go with the Charlotte Tilbury. For some reason, I think because of the shade of the L'Oreal, this one just pulls a little bit more cool and just makes my skin a little bit more flawless. This is fantastic. Where'd that accent come from? This is fantastic. Oh my God. But yeah, this one is smoother on the skin. It's a little bit cooler in tone, so it doesn't pull a little orange. But yeah, I think Charlotte Tilbury is going to win on the matte bronzer side. And as for blush, hello, $3 versus $55. This is the Pat McGrath Divine Rose, and this is the Essence Powder Blush. I'm going to stick with the blush, the Essence, the blush, yeah. As for eyeshadow, sorry, I prefer the ABH over the Milani Gilded Flora palette. This one is just smoother, it's creamier, it's butterier than the Gilded Flora. Even though this is a beautiful eyeshadow palette, this one is so much easier to blend. It has a better formula. But yeah, I like the ABH. And then for mascara, I think I like the Milani, the Anti-Gravity Mascara better. For some reason, it just really lifted my eyelashes, made them look longer. And let's not forget concealer, the Tarte Shape Tape versus the Milani Conceal and Perfect. Which side did I prefer? You know what? I'll be honest with you. I like the Tarte Shape Tape side better. For full coverage, it's not settling under my eyes. This is beautiful. Now, this is so close, so close. I mean, like a millimeter close to being a dupe to Tarte. So which side do you prefer? Do you prefer the high-end side or do you prefer the drugstore side? Leave me a comment down below and let me know, and tell me what are some of your dupes to your favorite high-end luxury products, because I would love to know. I really did prefer a lot of the drugstore over the high-end luxury products. But yeah, so thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I had so much fun. I hope you did too. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I would love it if you would be a part of our family. And in case you want to hang out a little bit longer and check out some more foundation reviews, check out the playlist down here. And for skincare reviews, check out the playlist right over there. But for now, mahal kita, I love you, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.